4 this morning, the line snaked around the Agana Shopping Center as thousands of island residents waited to get their tax refunds. It was noon by the time Dededo got to the front of the line.
What do you plan to do with your refund?
Treat the kids. It's Christmas. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Are you expecting several years?
Yeah, several years. Yeah, and my wife's grandpa just passed away yesterday, so hopefully that'll go towards the funeral.
A line was also provided for disabled residents, which they say took about half an hour to get through. At times, there was reported 600 inside, while outside, over 1,000 stood heel to toe for their money. For the hundreds here today have been waiting in line for hours. They describe the wait as being terrible, as some have been turned away, as their names are not on the list today. However, those that do get a check in hand have a different change of mind as they get the letter from the governor saying that he's making the promise that tax refunds will continue to come in every year. DRT officials here at the Agana Shopping Center recognized there were some problems, but Income Tax Supervisor Larry Talahi says they are working out the kinks.
What we're trying to do is pull a little bit more resources in. We have a few more laptops coming in, I believe, from other cities, and a lot more, manpower. Okay. So that's what we're looking at. We have to try to beef it up a little bit and see what we can do, because we definitely want to make it a very Merry Christmas for everyone. And already feeling a little merry is Noel Querion.
Now what do you plan to do?
Vacation.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Nick Delgado.
I'm standing here in the midst of the Guam Premier Outlets tax refund line, which wraps around Chuck E. Cheese, the back of the movie theaters, and back up to the parking lot almost to the start of the line. Residents on this end are all smiles and cheer, equipped with umbrellas and chairs for what may be a day's worth of wait for their tax refunds.
By the look on 88-year-old Olivia Mendiola's face, you'd think she'd won the lottery.
Yeah, I have 3 checks, 3 years. I have 3 checks. 9 and 10? Yes. Yeah. Right? So I don't know. Do you want me to open and see? Please? How much? Okay. The rest of us need to know how much
$779.
Oh my God, that's money.
For the
Let me see the other one.
$493. $476.
Yeah, that's it.
Mendiola, who was allowed to move to the front of the line, still waited an hour with her sister Selena Gonzalez to pick up her tax refund check from 2008, 2009, and 2010. The wait, however, didn't seem to bother her, as she thanked Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio as she left GPO.
A lot of people are happy now. We're hoping that the legislature will do as they had indicated they would and go for the Series B so we can pay the 2011.
For some like Ramona Longa, happiness couldn't be contained as she danced her way to the front of the line. Longa is ready to spend her refund to pay off some debt, as well as dental work for her young son, who she hopes won't foot the bill for her refund today in the future.
Well, I'm hoping my son, he's only 5, not going to have to pay for all the indebtedness that the government of Guam has incurred over the years. So I'm hoping he gets paid before he turns 18.
For 31-year-old Justin Guzman, who picked up his refund, he sees the bond as good news for Guam's economy.
I mean, it's a matter of people spending the money that they get. If they don't spend it, then it's not really going to move anyone, you know. I mean, people keep it, then the money's not flowing.
From years of waiting to a few hours in line, thousands of island residents showed up to collect their tax refunds. Residents with last names starting with the letters P through Z wrapped completely around the Micronesia Mall, with GPD reporting some showing up as early as 2 this morning. Dededo resident Tina Tyrone said waiting in line for nearly 3 hours for 2 tax refund checks was worth it.
Now I could have my little coffee and breakfast this morning. Either ways, you know, but I'm happy too that I will receive this because, you know, some of our kids really need it too, really needed help. Not only the parents, but our kids really do, you know, especially not only the debts, but something that we could really enjoy.
However, for Jonya resident Vicente Taisapic, waiting in line for 2.5 hours may seem short compared to others, but believes having people line up for tax refunds is an unfortunate situation to begin with.
I'm not really happy because this is outrageous. There's no reason for this. I hope it won't be this way again for the next 4 or 5 years.
Governor Eddie Calvo, meanwhile, visited all the sites to view how operations were moving and if there were any kinks or shortages of personnel. He says distributing the checks today will help create a government that is more conducive in servicing and helping the people.
So I see a lot of happy faces here, and
I'm glad that we've been able to get the people their tax refund money, and now we're going to make sure that moving forward we can continue, and this becomes the norm where people get their tax refunds for those years that they're processed.
An hour after lines opened, GPD didn't report any disturbances but had concern dealing with residents waiting in the heat outside. They hope to learn more from today and prepare for tomorrow's batch of recipients. At the mall, KUM did receive some reports that FSM residents were being turned away for not holding valid Guam identification. Revenue tax officials tell KUAM that as long as they provide a government-issued picture ID, there shouldn't be any problems, but will look into the complaint. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.
Well, it was at around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Revenue tax began turning residents away because they weren't able to service all of the thousands of people who were waiting in line. Revenue tax Deputy Director Marie Benito says officials made the decision to cut the lines at 1,000 people at GPO, 1,200 at the Micronesia Mall, and at the Agana Shopping Center. The decision didn't sit well with the thousands of people who spent the day waiting in the hot sun, like Carlos Villagomez from the village of Malolo.
It's kind of crazy because they went by count of head instead of count of person that were receiving their checks. So, they're probably counting their spouse, which was right next to them. I knew I was going to wait, maybe more than 2 hours, but, I didn't think they were going to cut it off, like right at where we were, or even at all. I thought they were going to wait until the mall ended.
For Tamuning resident Ed Ramos, he was the lucky 1,000th person who made the cutoff to get his refund today.
I feel bad for the person behind me because it's just a few seconds and then he's cut off and I'm not.
What time did you get here today?
A little before 12.
And how much longer do you expect to wait in line?
Probably 2 more hours.
GPD was dispatched to the distribution sites because of angry residents who refused to leave the lines. Benito says officials will regroup tonight and determine problem areas from today and ways they can improve the system for tomorrow's distribution.